Hello and welcome to a quick course on BMC's next generation technology check utility for DB2 ZOS. Chad Reber here, a BMC DB2 software consultant. For the next few minutes, I will be showing you just why and how to use next generation check for DB2. NGT check for DB2 is designed to validate index pointers between DB2 row data and the index that provides the quick access to the data. Different times in a DB2 application's lifecycle, there might be a reason the index and data becomes out of sync. This could be because of an unplanned outage, an incorrect recovery, a failed DB2 utility, or a problem with the DB2 software itself. Because of the size of our DB2 objects these days, it might be days or even weeks before someone might discover this issue between the data stores. NGT check is built to validate whether or not you have a problem with your critical DB2 indexes. NGT can be used when you discover an issue or can be used proactively to determine if your objects are in good working order. So why use NGT check versus the native DB2 check index utility? NGT check for DB2 provides a number of advantages over the IBM native utility. NGT check does not require a sort of the data to match up the rows of the data to the index entries. This saves in many ways: less elapsed time to do the check, less CPU required to validate indexes, and because there is no sort work datasets to be created in the process. NGT does not take the object out of rewrite mode, so it is truly an online utility. Other check utilities require a copy of the object in order to run online. However, with NGT check, BMC is working directly with the active index and table spaces, therefore providing a better check utility. Because NGT is looking at the data rows to confirm the correctness of the index requested, BMC and NGT check will check all the indexes associated with the table data. All indexes are checked for a specific table space. Lastly is ease of use. NGT provides wildcard capability, so one execution of NGT check can validate any number of table spaces and indexes, decreasing the number of executions that need to be submitted to the system. Also, decrease the number of jobs that need to be coded and maintained. As with all next-generation utilities, NGT check can span multiple server jobs. There are a number of requirements before you can run NGT check. There is a specific DB2 authorization to run this type of DB2 utility. Copy authority on the database, and you must be sysadmin or DBadmin for the system you are planning to run the check. The indexes associated with the table space you will submit must be in read-write mode and cannot be in any restrictive status such as rebuild pending. Just a note, NGT check is completely an online utility, so it is sharing these objects with your application. Normal DB2 locking and claim drain processing is done to protect the information provided and data integrity. Here are some examples of NGT check syntax. First one is for a particular table space. Next, you can wildcard part of the database name and get all the underlying table spaces. You can also select part of a table space name if the table space starts with a particular string. Multiple check statements are also valid. This can help if you need to partially wildcard or to provide individual table spaces because wildcarding will not work in your environment. If you have been using NGT utilities, you know about utility parameters that are set as default and can always be overridden by individual utility executions. NGT check is no different. All the NGT utility parameters are valid, such as server mode, where additional server jobs can be submitted. Cleanup and journal specifically if there's a problem with the check execution. Lastly, Q retry is important with the NGT check, just as it is with all the NGT utilities because of the online nature of these utilities. NGT check has its own parameters as well. Info only is a Y or N equation. Max errors and max print limits the number of errors that are produced out of the process. Typically, once you realize there are significant issues with the correlation of the index and row data, collecting each error is not required. You know how to correct the situation is next on the list. One row to an index pointer issue is enough to cause a problem with an application. This is an example of the output for a successful NGT check execution. Message NGT B120 signifies the check execution was successful for the index indicated, potential index partition. This slide shows unsuccessful execution of NGT check. NGT B909 indicates there is a problem with the index. Typically, we are looking for table space rows with no matching index entries, or index entries without any data rows. I would like to take this moment to thank you for your time. NGT check can be used when there is a problem between your DB2 data store and its associated index spaces. Or NGT check can be used proactively to validate the health of your DB2 indexes on your most critical DB2 applications. This quick course will get you on your way to use NGT check to quickly find DB2 index problems without an outage. If you need further information or product documentation, please refer to the DB2 support website. Thank you.